So, hello everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Krishanu Chatterjee. He was our senior in IIT Bombay. He is doing his PhD and he is an SRF right now. So, over to you, Krishanuda. Uh, so, you will have to kind of introduce yourself from your BSc, whatever you have done, and your geological achievements and accolades. You can share about that as well.
Mhm. I am Krishanu Chatterjee, final year research scholar in the Department of Earth Sciences, IIT Bombay. I am doing my video camera is on or off?
Well, it doesn't matter because it's not visible in my screen and it's
Okay,
fine.
okay, okay,
The presentation is on, so the layout is
okay,
fine.
okay, okay. Uh, I am doing research in ecology.
Hmm.
So, I have passed my master degree from Baligon Science College, University of Calcutta, and I have done my bachelor's from Durgapur Government College, University of Burdwan. So I will briefly talk about the PhDs in IIT Bombay. Then I will briefly discuss about my research. In IIT Bombay, there are mainly two categories to take admission in PhD. One is FA category, uh, that is fellowship awardee. Like if someone get CSR, UGC NET, JRF, or someone have DST, so they have external fellowship. So they can take admission in FA category. Another is TA category, that is teaching assistant. So if someone has the gate score within 550 or 600 or rank within 300, so he can take admission in TA category. So in TA category, student have to provide teaching assistance like uh, proctoring in exam, mm, taking practical or theory classes, making assignment or presentation, or making report. They have to provide some kind of assistance in teaching. So, in spite of that, and they get the fellowship from the institute. Another category is teaching assistance in project. So generally, this TAP category is because it's based on the project, so it is valid for 3 years. But after 3 years, it generally got convert into PhD. So there are three category. So someone can take admission into in PhD. So another concerning question is GATE better or NET JRA better to take admission in IIT? So in case of CSR NET, like someone has the fellowship, so he falls into FA category. So if as he has external fellowship, the difficulty level of his interview is generally less than the TA category, because in case of TA, the institute provide the funding. So it is more difficult interview in case of TA category. So as I have mentioned previously that for TA duty you have to take classes and many assignment you have to do. So in case of teaching experience, so they get the advantage because they have a lot more experience to take practical and theory classes than the FA category. Now, another cons in case of TA, that the available time for PhD. So, in case of the time management. So FA category get more time to do their PhD work because they don't have that much TA-ship. So in case of FA category, they get more time in case of their PhD work. But in case of contingency, like if you go to field work, you get expenses for field. So in that case, FA category like CSIR or UGC, they have limitation of money. Like uh, you can get maximum of 20,000 rupees. But in case of PhD, you have to spend like 2 months or 3 months in field. So their expenses doesn't cover in the contingency in FA category. But in case of TA, the institute provide maximum like 50,000 rupees. So in case of contingency TA is better. So that is the relative comparison of TA and FA. And if we go to the stipend structure for PhD, so uh, both FA and TA category get same fellowship. Like in case of JRF, in the first 2 years of PhD, they get 37,000 rupees. And in SRF, like last 3 years of PhD, senior research fellow, they get 42,000 of rupees. And contingency, as I have said earlier, they get 20,000 contingency. And in case of SPMF, that is Samaprasad Mukherjee Fellowship, so they get 5,000 extra in case of JRF and SRF. But in case of contingency, they get 50,000 extra, like they get 70,000 contingency in case of field expenses. So their vehicle expenses or their food, lodge, everything is covered in case of SPMF. In case of PMRF, they generally get 70,000 in first 2 years and 75,000 in the consequent year and 80,000 in the last 2 years. And they get contingency 2 lakh per year. So in case of like attending foreign conference or field or any type of analysis like EPM analysis or any kind of Raman spectroscopic analysis. So they get better advantage because they have lot of contingency to do their experiment or to attend the conference in outside India. So, but in the upcoming year, so it is most possible they are going to increase the PMRF to 1 lakh rupees. So it is a great opportunity to apply for PMRF for the upcoming PhD student. So if we talk about SPMF, so how can someone get SPMF? So as I have said that SPMF is Syama Prasad Mukherjee Fellowship. So the top rankers in the JRF, like from 1 to 20, so they got called for the interview for SPMF. And after interview or after examining the dissertation or their PhD planning, they got shortlisted. Like in every year, there are 4 to 5% who got SPMF. Now, for PMRF, there are two category for admission. One is direct entry. So, the fellow who has done his masters in IIT, so they can apply PhD in directly PMRF category. So in that case, they got fellowship for almost 5 years. But for lateral entry, who have done their MSc from the state universities, so they are eligible to apply in the second year. So they get 4 years of fellowship. So for eligibility of PMRF, they should have like 8.5 CGPA and there should be strong statement of purpose, like there should be some application for their work, like some industrial application or some related to present concern of climate or some related to oil industry. So they have more chances to get the PMRF. So in case of PMRF, if some TA category got admission to PMRF, so they have to do 52 hours teaching in a year. Like they have to go outside the state or outside or in the state, and they have to go to different colleges, and they have to learn some courses. Like if you are doing in paleontology, but you may have duty to do structural geology classes in some colleges. So that's depends on many different things. So in case of TA category, so they have to provide additional 52 hours duty except teaching assistantship. But in case of FA category, they have no TA, so they have to only do the teaching like 52 hours in year. So in case of PMRF, so they have biannual evaluation, like about the progress of their work, if they have publication or not, and how satisfactory is their work. So there are committee, there are PMRF committee that they judge the student, and if their result is not satisfactory, so they can terminate the PMRF. So if they terminate PMRF, you can get back to the normal TA or FA category. So that is the caution. So in case of PhD, so it is generally based on the website in the IIT Bombay. So after the admission, so they have to complete the coursework. In case of MSc qualified student, they have to do 32 credits in the first year. So like so you can take the courses according to your PhD topic. Like if you are doing PhD in soft rock, you can do the coursework about the micropaleontology, basin analysis. That is all related to soft rock. And if you are doing PhD in metamorphic petrology, so you can take courses like mineralogy or metamorphic petrology or igneous petrology or structural geology. So based on your research topic, you have to choose your like coursework, the courses. So you have to do 32 credits in case of MSc qualified. So here you can see I have shown here, like I have taken petroliferous basin of India. It has 6 credit. The reservoir sedimentology is at 6 credit. So in that way you have to do the 2 credits in 2 semester. And if someone is MTech qualified, so they have MTech qualified in IIT, so they have already done the coursework. So they have to complete 22 credits. So in case of PhD in abroad, I don't have that much idea, but um, one friend of mine, he is doing she has done PhD in US. So I have asked her, so she said different exams like GRE, IELTS, TOEFL, that kind of exam you have to give, and accordingly you can email the professor under which you want to join, and you can inquire about the specific school that you need to take admission in that college. So but one thing that the scope in US is much better, and the job opportunity is much better than India. So if someone has the possibility, so they can try abroad. So that's all the basic to take admission in PhD. If I am missing something, Prajna, please remind me. Like
Okay.
I don't get time to like much time because it is my final year and there's
Yeah, yeah, sure,
some days
sure.
I have pre-synopsis. So like I don't get much time. Okay.
I think the basics of PhD, the official part is over. Now we can go to ethnology directly. Like you can talk about ethnology. What is ethnology? Its usage in hydrocarbon, everything like that.
Yes, yes. So, ethnology basically is the I am doing PhD in ethnology. So ethnology is the study about the like biogenic sediment structure. So it is actually the study of trace fossil. So what is trace fossil? So uh, it is the actually organism and sediment reaction, and the uh, the biogenic the biogenic sedimentary structure produced by the organism and sedimentary uh, organism and organism and sediment. So this study of trace fossil or biogenic sedimentary structure is ethnology. So in case of it is there is some advantages of studying ethnology. Like we know that the in case of body fossil, we know that generally those organisms who have the hard skeletal part. So we got the preservation of only those organisms who have the skeletal part. But in case of trace fossil, the we can also get the traces by the soft bodied animal. Like we can see here, this is called Barguria. It is produced by the sea anemone. So as the sea anemone has don't have the skeletal part, so but it react with the substrate. So it is basically the Barguria is basically the resting trace of the sea anemone. So in the fossil record, we don't have the um, body fossil record of the soft-bodied animal, but in case of trace fossil, we get a lot of structure made by the uh, soft organism which don't have the skeletal part. And another thing that sometimes in case of like many rock like the sandstone, they generally don't preserve the body fossil like the limestone or mud rock. But in case of trace fossil, they preserve the trace fossil like scolithos and ophiomorpha. That kind of traces we can get in the sandstone, or even in the hard rock like the metamorphic or igneous rock. We can have the boring structure. Like we know about the sponge boring, bivalve boring. So we can get this structure even in the sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Another advantages of studying trace fossil is it rarely got transported. So in case of paleo environmental interpretation and paleo ecological interpretation, trace fossil gives us better result than the body fossil, because body fossil get transported, but trace fossils are generally in situ. So in case of sometimes paleo environmental interpretation, the trace fossil give the better result. So that is like basic about technology. And if we talk about the its um, application in the petroleum industry, so uh, actually in case of heterolith, like if there is sandstone or mudstone interval, So we generally know that the mudstone has very low permeability. So the oil migration is very less. Like if we in this picture, my skin is visible.
Yes, yes, your screen is visible.
Uh-huh. So we can see the sandstone in yellow, like in yellow color. These are the sandstone, and in the black color, this is mudstone. So we generally know that the sandstone are porous and permeable, but in case of mudstone, so they are not permeable. So if we have the oil in uh, the two sandstone layer and there is impermeable mudstone layer in between them, so the oil migration is not possible to this sandstone layer to this sandstone layer. So but in case of but the biogenic structure, they do the connectivity between the various sandstone layer, and they also burrowed in the mudstone. So the oil migration is easily distributed in that whole rock. So in that case, in case of like Saudi Arabia or we have a huge petroleum reservoir in only that in the borough portion, like this borough portion, like in this biogenic sedimentary structure, like in ophiomorpha, scolithos. This maybe they interconnected the various rock laterally and vertically, and the oil migrated in the wide um, area, and there the reservoir quality get better in that case. So that is the one advantage in doing so. If we can identify burrow, and we can like identify the nature of bioturbation in the rock. So the reservoir characterization, when case of petroleum exploration, we can get advantages in case of like oil exploration. So that is the one of the advantages that I know in case of like bioturbation. So that is from my side. So you can ask questions.
Okay, I have question like, can you just explain bioturbation? What is bioturbation?
Like bioturbation is the texture or the structure in the sedimentary rock that is produced by the organism. Like we can see there are vertical burrow, there are horizontal burrow in the rock, so like the dwelling structure or some resting structure. So any kind of textural and structural modification in the primary sedimentary rock that produced by the organism, that is the bioturbation. So it is basically biogenic sedimentary structure that produced by various organisms like the arthropod, annelid, polychaetes, this kind of thing. So it is basically the various dwelling structure or the locomotion structure. So there are many kind of bioturbation. Like here you can see this is the vertical structure, and in case of like in case of like low energy condition, we see the horizontal locomotion traces. So there are many kind of bioturbation. So this is basically biogenic sedimentary structure.
I will write, I will go to Arnab. Arnab, if you have some doubt, you can unmute yourself or you can write it in the chat box. I am writing my doubts in the chat box, so you can go to the chat box and see it. Yeah, I think I asked what kind of ichnofossils are important to see for the petroleum. So, what kind of ichnofossils, specific ichnofossils we should see?
Okay. So, in case of maintaining the vertical permeability, the vertical test focus is very important. So, as I have said that there are many kind of test fossil like uh, in case of higher energy condition. So we mainly get the vertical structure because they want to get rid of the storm energy condition or the wave energy condition, storm energy condition, or from the predators. So they generally do vertical structure. And in case of low energy condition where the wave action, storm action is very low, and there are no predator prey competition. So in case of that, they generally do the horizontal cases like locomotion cases or the grazing cases. But in case of maintaining the vertical permeability, the vertical bioturbation structure is mainly important, like Ophiomorpha, Polythos, or maybe Thalassinoides, the Spondyliomorpha. That kind of structure is important. And one another aspect is like in case of firm ground, like at the deposition of mud or the carbonate. So
Hmm.
in case of carbonate, it consolidates very early after the deposition. So, and in case of mud rock, they also consolidate very early rather than the sandstone. And after they get uh, they get subsequent they get the subsequent amount of firmness. So there is the oil movement is basically restricted because of their firmness and the compactness of the mudstone or like fine grained rock. But if some element like the some crustacean like if some crustacean do bioturbation here, like one kind of firm ground burrow, we get spondyliomorpha. So in case of Spondyliomorpha, they enhance the permeability in the fine-grained mudstone or the carbonate rock, which got earlier cementation, but their permeability enhanced due to their bioturbation. So this kind of bioturbation, like if we ask specifically what kind of bioturbation, I will say that scolithos, ophiomorpha, thalassinoides, or spondyliomorpha that have the large network. They are better for the oil migration or the oil accumulation.
Okay. So it would have been actually better if you had shown the pictures of each ichno fabrics or ichno fossils, or which would have.
Like uh, in case of like in another lecture, I can show them, but
Yeah, yeah,
okay, so there no problem. Like I don't have much time to get the like preparation, so
yeah.
I have made it like today. Like, so,
Okay, okay, okay. Just a bit. I think Arnab now. Arnab, you can have some doubts, so you can say Arnab.
Good evening, Dada. I am Arnob Dash from Hooghly Motion College, and my question is that, as we know that soft-bodied animal are not preserved in the fossil, so how we can accurately tell that this ichno-fossil or this trace fossil is made by that particular kind of animal?
okay, so your question is like it is like okay, your question is based on the fundamental key of the geology, that is the present is the key of the past. So sometime what happened that if we see that same kind of animal is making same trace, so we can assume that these traces is made by the same animals. Or sometimes you know that uh, we in some cases we get the body fossil with the trace fossil. Okay, so, like if we can get the association of body fossil and trace fossil, and we get similar trace fossil in the another area, so we can tell that this those kind of trace fossil made by the same organism. Okay, So that is how we predict like this kind of trace fossil made by this uh, organism. Are you able to understand?
Yes, thank you. But one query remains that, but for the extinct short body animal, how can we tell that?
That I am saying that you are saying that it is extreme soft soft bodied animal. Okay, but the sediment is also soft. So uh, if
Yes.
the sediment is there are we know that there are different kind of sediments based on the substrate consistency. Like we can have loose ground, we can have soup ground, we can have firm ground, we can have hard ground. Okay, so if the sediment is very soupy or the soft, so even there are structures made by the soft bodied animal is also preserved. Okay, so because the sediment is extremely soupy and soft, and so the made this structure made by this like soft bodied animal, it also can get preserved. But you are saying right that the preservation potential of trace fossil is not always good in like every aspect, but we can have also the like trace fossil produced by the soft bodied animal.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So another aspect of like you can like interpret various energy condition or the various like energy condition by the trace fossil association. Like you if you get the horizontal traces, so that I have said earlier that there is a low energy condition, and like every organism have their specific condition for living. So the paleo environmental interpretation like is very um, helpful by the trace fossil study.
mm, okay. I think that's it. Uh, Vishanuta, you can like stop screen sharing now.
So you still showing my screen?
Yeah, it's still showing your screen. You have to go to your Meet.
Okay, okay.
Okay, now it's fine. So yeah, it was a lovely session. You can turn on your camera. And yeah, it was a lovely
Uh,
session with you, and we would actually like to have another session where you would show us the pictures of the ichnofossils which are used in hydrocarbon, especially the hydrocarbon industry. And I could also try to bring the oil and gas group people here, more oil and gas group, like Ornov was here, but more people from oil and gas group as well as from academia group. So as you know, there are three groups: oil and gas, exploration, and academia and research. I have made these groups so that people can very easily understand which field to choose and which like they don't want to go, so that their career choices are very easy for them. So that's the thing. This is the initiation. This is my pet project
um,
that I've started. So that's it. Then we will. I think this is we will wrap up. It
okay,
was
okay, okay. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. It is my first time to speak like that, so I think I will
yeah,
get better in the like subsequent season. So let's
yeah.
see.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Okay. Thank you. Tata.